Deep within an ancient jungle, nestled amongst towering ferns and prehistoric cycads, lay Boomatheyam. The village, a haven of thatched huts and crackling fire pits, pulsed with the rhythm of life. Its inhabitants, weathered by the elements and bound by tradition, lived in fragile harmony with the giants that roamed the earth. They hunted with spears tipped with sharpened obsidian, gathered fruits bursting with exotic flavors, and painted their stories on the rough walls of their cave dwellings. Boomatheyam, though a sanctuary, was not immune to the dangers lurking beyond its borders. The earth in its restless slumber shifted. The once abundant hunting grounds dwindled, replaced by parched earth and the echoing silence of absent prey. The village elders, their faces etched with worry, lines as intricate as the cave paintings, knew a difficult decision had to be made. They had to move, to venture beyond the familiar comfort of their ancestral home and seek a new haven. The first light of dawn spilled over the rugged peaks, painting the sky in hues of fiery orange and rose. The air, cool and heavy with the scent of damp earth and blooming orchids, carried the sound of awakening life. For Dasa, Maya, and Dole, it signaled the start of their perilous journey into the unknown. Dasa, his face etched with a mixture of apprehension and resolve, checked the straps of his woven carrier, ensuring his precious cargo was secure. His firstborn, a boy with eyes as bright as obsidian, gurgled happily, his tiny hand reaching out to touch the intricate tattoos that adorned his father's arm. Maya, her own burden no less lighter, adjusted the sling that held their sleeping daughter, her heart heavy with the weight of their uncertain future. She met Dasa's gaze, a silent exchange of love and unspoken fear passing between them. With a final lingering glance at the familiar shapes of their village, Dasa turned his back on the only home he had ever known. He took a deep breath, drawing strength from the crisp morning air and the unwavering loyalty he saw reflected in Dole's amber eyes. The mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex, her scales shimmering like polished jade in the soft light, stood ready to protect her adopted family. She sensed their anxiety, her low rumble, reassuring presence in the stillness of the pre-dawn light. The jungle welcomed them with an embrace that was both alluring and intimidating. Towering ferns, their fronds dripping with dew, brushed against their skin, their passage leaving a fleeting trail in the otherwise pristine undergrowth. The air grew thick with the scent of damp earth, decaying vegetation, and the sweet perfume of exotic orchids that clung to the gnarled branches of ancient trees. The sunlight, filtered through the dense canopy, painted a mosaic of light and shadow on the forest floor, creating an ever-shifting landscape that played tricks on the eye. Dole, her massive head held high, scanned their surroundings with a primal awareness. Her keen senses were attuned to every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, alert for any sign of danger that might lurk in the emerald depths. She moved with surprising agility for her size, her powerful legs navigating the uneven terrain with ease. The ground trembled slightly with each step, a testament to her raw power and a silent warning to any creature foolish enough to challenge her. Maya, her senses heightened by a mother's instinct, kept a watchful eye on their surroundings. She pointed out the brightly colored birds that flitted through the foliage, their calls a vibrant counterpoint to the deeper symphony of the jungle. She showed the children the delicate spider webs spun across their path, each one a marvel of intricate design, and warned them of the stinging insects that buzzed lazily amongst the flowers. Despite the ever-present danger, there was a sense of wonder in her voice, a recognition of the raw beauty that surrounded them. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting long shadows that danced and swayed with the movement of the leaves, the forest seemed to come alive with whispers. The wind, rustling through the canopy, carried the sound of distant creatures, the trumpeting of mastodons, the screech of unseen birds, and the low rumble of what could only be a large predator moving through the undergrowth. Each sound, though unfamiliar and potentially dangerous, held a strange allure, a reminder of the wild beauty that existed beyond the familiar boundaries of their former home. Dasa, his hand resting reassuringly on the hilt of his bone-handled knife, listened intently to the forest's symphony. He knew that each sound, each rustle of leaves, could herald either opportunity or danger. He scanned their surroundings, his eyes searching for any sign of game, for edible plants, for any indication that other humans might have passed this way before them. The jungle, though teeming with life, was also a place of constant competition, a delicate balance between predator and prey, where only the strong and adaptable survived. The weight of their responsibility pressed down on him, a tangible burden that settled heavily on his shoulders. He was no longer just a hunter, a provider for his family. He was their leader, their protector, the one responsible for guiding them through this treacherous new world. The knowledge filled him with a mixture of pride and trepidation, but he knew there was no turning back. They had taken the first steps on this perilous journey, and he would see it through to the end, no matter the cost. The sun, a fiery orb sinking below the horizon, cast long, dancing shadows through the dense jungle. The air, once thick with the scent of blooming orchids and damp earth, grew cooler, carrying a hint of moisture and the musk of unseen predators. For Dasa and his family, it signaled the approach of night, a time when the jungle transformed, revealing a different face, both beautiful and terrifying. Dole, her massive form a reassuring silhouette against the fading light, had led them steadily throughout the day, her keen senses alert for any sign of danger. She had steered them clear of a watering hole where a group of raptors, their feathers ruffled and claws extended, had feasted on the carcass of a fallen hadrosaur. She had sensed the tremor of the earth that heralded the approach of a herd of triceratops, their horns lowered as they thundered through the undergrowth, and had guided them to safety behind a thicket of giant ferns. With each passing hour, the jungle soundscape shifted. The daytime symphony of bird calls and rustling leaves gave way to the nocturnal chorus of crickets, the croaking of unseen amphibians, and the distant hoots of owls. These were sounds that Dasa, a seasoned hunter, recognized, sounds that spoke of the